It all started to fall apart when my 15-year-old daughter, Shelley, received one of those DNA kits for Christmas. I don't even remember who gave it to her. She was all excited as she carefully filled out all of the submission requirements and mailed it in. 6 weeks later, the results finally came back, and she was not happy. Donna and I quietly sat in the living room reading when our daughter decided to vocalize her discontent. We couldn't make out the actual words, but things were not going well. After 15 minutes or so, she stormed out of her room and announced that she was going over to her girlfriend's house. Donna reminded her to be home by supper time as she rushed out of the door. I sat there with an amused grin on my face and noticed that Donna seemed a bit more concerned. We both just shrugged and went on with our reading. Donna and I got married 18 years ago, right after I finished my residency. After 5 years, I was considered the leading gallbladder surgeon in the Tri-County area. I had all the work I could handle, and life was good. And then it all went to hell. We were attending a social affair sponsored by Donna's company, Gilbert Enterprises, when I had some type of seizure, which left me with some Parkinson-like neurological tics. It wasn't Parkinson's, but it appeared to be similar. I had a constant tic in my right eye, and my lower right arm would twitch sporadically at inopportune moments. They never did figure out exactly what it was, and for some reason, I was so glad that I was just still functional at all that I didn't pursue it any further. My days as a surgeon were over, however, so I found a new position as a radiologist. 9 months later, Shelley was born. Things seemed to move along as well as could be expected. I was not happy with my new affliction, but I was still fully functioning in most areas. I did very well in my new medical position, and the compensation was still quite adequate. My home life and my intimate life did not suffer. In fact, Donna seemed to be a bit more accommodating. She turned into a sort of Stepford wife. I figured that she felt a bit guilty because I had my seizure while we were at one of her company functions. In any event, I was enjoying her extra attention, so I didn't complain. I truly loved the woman. We lived that way for 15 years. Donna? Any ideas why Shelley got so upset about the ancestry thing? I have no clue. I do think that it is best if we just let it slide. I am sure that she will get over it in a few days, no matter what it is. Something about the way that she said that did not sit right with me. I got the feeling that she was trying to divert me away from it without looking obvious. I just smiled and nodded my head. I didn't get much reading done the rest of the evening, but I did a hell of a lot of thinking. I tried to relate Shelley's attitude with anything else that might be going on, but nothing popped up. Other than the normal squabbles that all families have, we were in good shape. No money difficulties, no problems in the bedroom, and definitely nothing that could relate to our daughter. I had to get a look at that DNA report. Donna left for work at Gilbert, and Shelley went to school. I stayed home. I found what I was looking for in her study desk drawer. Donna's family is mostly Irish, and mine is mostly Scottish with a bit of German tossed in. It seemed that Shelley was 48% Eastern European. I had to laugh a little at the poor quality of the report. As I read further, I noted that there was a list of close matches. Of course, Donna's name was right up top, but my name was nowhere on the list. There were also a few names of relatives from Donna's side of the family, but none of mine. I guessed that the only people that would show up on the list were people who had actually had their DNA documented. Donna, Shelley, and I had ours done 5 years ago as part of an annual physical. Mine should have been on there if Donna's was. I was starting to get concerned, and then I noted a strange name high up on the list. Teresa Haugen was a 46% match. Who the hell was Teresa Haugen? Dr. McCall, this is John Terrell. Yes, John. Good to hear from you. Is everything okay? Yeah, no problems. I still have that damn twitch and the eye tic, but other than that, I am fine. However, I have a small question. A few years ago, you took DNA samples from all of us for our medical records. Could you check something for me? What do you need? I am trying to figure out if there are any glitches in the DNA results between Shelley and myself. Glitches? What do you mean by glitches? Look, doctor, this is embarrassing, but I am trying to find out if Shelley is my biological daughter or not. I don't want to stir up any trouble. I just need to know. Oh, Pardon my French, John. You know you have access to all those files. You could check it yourself. I know, but I would prefer if you did it. Let me pull up the files and I will get back to you, okay? Give me an hour. Thanks, doctor. I really do appreciate it. I think that Donna could tell that I was troubled. Dr. McCall verified that I was not Shelley's father. I did not tell Donna. For the last 3 days, I have been trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I was surprisingly calm about the whole situation, and I was able to think about it without blowing my cool. It took me several days to locate Teresa Haugen. For some reason, I assumed that she would be about Shelley's age, and I felt like I was a stalking pedophile. I finally found her in the white pages under a listing for Malcolm Haugen. Malcolm was my age and lived in Westchester. I assumed that she was his daughter. Malcolm agreed to meet me Saturday morning at a Denny's in Exton. I'm not sure that he knew who I was, but I detected a bit of apprehension in his voice. He was early. I was on time. We exchanged formalities. Malcolm, I don't remember ever meeting you before. Have you ever lived in Reading? That brought a slight grimace to his face. He squirmed in his chair a bit as if trying to get comfortable. I worked for Gilbert Enterprises about 15 years ago or so. I believe we met at one of the company functions back then. I left Reading right after that. He seemed relieved to have said it, but still a bit uncomfortable. I take it that you knew my wife, Donna? It was a question phrased as a comment. He didn't answer. He just nodded. Do you know why I am here? Not exactly, but I have a good idea. The few moments of silence were stressful. What took you so long? I just found out. More silence. He let out a deep sigh. I was young. I had been drinking too much, and I was caught up in the moment. I know that that was no excuse, and I know it was wrong. I think I caved into the peer pressure more than anything else. Donna, your wife, was one of the most fascinating women I had ever met. I knew she was married, but nobody seemed to care at the moment. Who was nobody? He was still squirming a bit. The 3 of us were from the engineering department, Freddie Springer, Clayton Mankey, and I. Donna was being extra friendly with all of us, and we were having a great time. There were a lot of innuendos going around, and some of them were getting serious. Did anybody think about me at all? Donna was constantly looking around to make sure you were not near us. If I remember correctly, you were hanging around with some of the older guys talking about golf. How did this all go off the rails? Freddie was trying to talk Donna into talking some ecstasy. She kept saying no. He was pretty persistent. That was when everything turned to shit. What does that mean? We were all drunk and we were all horny, including Donna. Freddie asked her one more time and she sighed and said, "Don't drug me, you idiots. Go drug my husband." After another long pause, I looked at him. Say that again. She said, "Don't drug me, you idiots. Go drug my husband." That simple phrase has haunted me for the last 15 years or so. It was so cold and so calculating that I couldn't believe it. What happened next? I asked. A few minutes later, Freddie took you a drink. You fell asleep on one of the lounge chairs and we all went upstairs. It was when we came downstairs an hour later that we found out what happened to you. What do you mean? I asked. It seemed that you had a bad reaction to the drug Freddie gave you and they had to rush you to the hospital. Donna didn't even know about it until after you were gone. I didn't say anything. First thing Monday morning, I quit Gilbert's and moved back home to Westchester. I got a new job, got married, and now have 3 kids. I have never been back to Reading. I never saw Donna again. I have always regretted what happened, and I am truly sorrowful. I don't know what else I can say or do. I had the waitress bring us a full pot of coffee. Malcolm, have you ever had one of those ancestry tests done? No, but my daughter Teresa did a few years ago. Anybody else in the family? No, just her. She got it as a present. Why do you ask? Your daughter Teresa and my daughter Shelley are half-sisters. I watched as Malcolm sat still, not breathing. He finally blinked his eyes and let out a big sigh. I watched him for a few moments until he got some tears in his eyes. His head was slowly shaking from side to side. Are you okay? No, I'm not. The worst night of my life just got worse. I can't believe this is happening. This is going to ruin me and my family. I tried so hard to not let anything like that happen again, and then this one comes back and bites me in the back. How much worse can it get? We sat quietly for several minutes. Malcolm, what happened to the other two guys? Freddie got killed in a crash on the Schuylkill Expressway. Clayton is an alcoholic and lives in a church rectory in Fishtown. I haven't seen him in years. Malcolm, I want to thank you for your time and your honesty. I am not looking for anything else, and I have no desire whatsoever for revenge or retribution. You can relax. I won't be coming after you or exposing you. That is good to hear. But there is another problem here. What about or should I say, my daughter? What if she figures things out and wants to have contact with me? What am I supposed to do? I don't want to hurt or embarrass anybody. Any suggestions? I'll help you any way that I can. I won't initiate anything, but if it comes up, I will be on your side whatever happens. I am not a vindictive man. I am not happy with what happened, but I am not going to ruin my life dwelling on it. Just in case, you might want to prepare your wife so that you don't get caught flat-footed. My everyday life became miserable. Every time my arm twitched or my eye blinked, I was reminded of my wife's treachery. Every time she was overly nice or accommodating, I cringed. Like Malcolm, she carried the guilt with her for 15 years. For all those 15 years, I loved her because of what I perceived to be her devotion. Now I know that it was not devotion, but guilt. I felt that I could forgive Malcolm, but not Donna. My love for my wife was dying little by little every day. It was starting to eat me up. I had to do something before it was too late. Finally, I did something. Hi, my name is Lina. Lina Durante. Welcome to Hospital de Santa Marta. You must be John Terrell. I had been in Porto for a week, but this was my first visit to the hospital cafeteria. I made a clumsy attempt to stand up and held out my hand to greet my unexpected guest. This caused her to giggle a bit. May I join you? I just nodded as she sat. She wasn't what I would call beautiful, but she was damn attractive for a middle-aged woman. So you are the new reader? Glad to see you as part of the team. Have you gotten settled in? She was obviously a local, but spoke perfect English, as did most of the staff. Yes, everything is coming along fine. I got a furnished condo within walking distance of the hospital. All I have to do now is find a few good places to eat close by. Oh, good. I can help you with that. I am an expert at finding places to eat. She did a great job of breaking the ice. What department do you work in, Lina? I am a neurosurgeon. I am sure that we will be working together regularly. I understand that you have much experience. Pretty much across the board. I will be reading all the X-rays, CT scans, MRIs, mammograms, and ultrasounds, as well as tea leaves on occasion. That got me a small laugh. Have you always done that? No. I am sure that you have noticed my eye tick and the twitch in my right hand. Before my affliction, I did laparoscopic gallbladder surgery. Switching over to radiology allowed me to continue working. I feel that I am still able to contribute. What exactly was the affliction? You know, I never really did find out. There was a lot of discussion and a lot of conjecture, but never anything definite. I felt that everybody was being evasive. I tried pinning it down a few times and got frustrated, so I just quit. Enough chit-chat. I have to get back to work. I get off at 6. I'll pick you up here and we will explore your first dining experience. You're working straight days, right? I smiled and nodded. Lina Durante was unmarried. I didn't ask why or explore the subject further. After a month, I was comfortable enough with her to explain my marital status. The fact that I was still married did not seem to bother her. 2 weeks later, she started staying overnight at my condo. Life was good. I had no contact with my wife or my daughter. My relationship with Donna got cooler and cooler before I left, although she kept trying to keep it together. The problem was all on my side. She tried to get me to explain what was wrong, and I never did. Shelley became completely withdrawn. I tried to keep that relationship going, but she killed it. It got to the point where we barely talked at all. She never explained what her displeasure with me was. I didn't ask, but I think it was pretty obvious that it was connected to that damn DNA test. I didn't tell Donna that I was leaving. I simply left her a power of attorney to sell the house and took half of our savings. She had a good job and would have no problem supporting herself and Shelley. I am sure that she would end up selling the house. I also left my wedding ring. Let her figure it out. Donna never tried to find me or contact me. If she did know where I was not aware of it. John, I set aside a time slot to see you at 9 a.m. Friday in my clinic. It's a routine thing, so don't get too excited about it. Lena was trying to be casual. That doesn't make sense, and you know it. What is going on? It's the eye tick thing, John. I just want to check it out a bit. Don't you think that you should get an ophthalmologist? Dr. Perez will be there. He is the best we have. We are not going to do anything. Just look around. Lena, I don't trust you. I know bull when I smell it. Just shut up, John. Be there at 9. Well, Dr. Perez was not there. There was an anesthesiologist there, however, and before I knew it, I was fast asleep. Lena was sitting on my bed when I recovered. She was grinning at my obvious displeasure. Are you mad at me, John? I didn't quite feel like talking, so I just grunted at her. It didn't take long for me to figure it out. I no longer had the eye tick or the hand twitch. I held up my right hand and stared with amazement. It was rock steady. My hand immediately went up to my head and Lena started laughing as I felt around for bandages. There were none. It's laparoscopic, John. You of all people should have figured that out. I gave her an idiotic stare as if to question her. Up your nose, you idiot. And she laughed again. Over the next few months, I worked with the surgical department to get recertified. I decided to stay with the radiology department and just fill in if any gallbladder surgeries were required. Everybody was happy with the new arrangement. Lena and I moved in together, and things went very well over the next 2 years. I think she would have liked to get married, but under the circumstances, she didn't want to push it. It was a warm summer afternoon, and I was sitting on the veranda with a bottle of Lancer's Rose. John, you have a guest. Lena paused for a moment. I'll be going down to the market for a while. She didn't wait for an answer. Hello, John. It's been a long time. It had been almost 4 years since I saw my wife. She still looked good, but a little tired around the eyes. Donna, you are looking well. Can I get you something to drink? The wine looks fine. She sat while I fetched a glass. We were silent for several moments. We chatted about the house, the weather, and her flight over. Finally, I couldn't stand it anymore. Donna, why are you here? What do you want? I just wanted some closure. I want to wrap things up so we can move on. I need a few answers, and I feel that you do too. You refused to talk before. I think I understand why. I just need about 30 minutes or so. You flew 15 hours to talk for 30 minutes? I had to do it face to face. Okay, go ahead. After a year, I figured that you were not coming back. I sold the house and got a small apartment for Shelley and myself. This is a check for half of the house. She placed it on the table between us. I filed for divorce by abandonment. That took a year, but it is done and it is clean and clear. You are now free to do as you please. She placed a second document on the table. Shelley is engaged to be married in a couple of months and asked me to give you this invitation. She was hoping that you would be able to give her away. She completely understands if you decide not to do it. She realizes that her behavior was inappropriate the last few months and apologizes for it. The invitation joined the other papers. I wanted to thank you for the checks that you send to Shelley's college account every month. It really made a big difference. Under the circumstances, I didn't expect it. That one caught me by surprise. I never sent any checks. I did have an idea where they came from, however. Of course, I was hoping to find out exactly why you left, but I will understand if you refuse to tell me. If you still decide not to say anything, can I at least answer any questions for you? She paused and took a sip of the rose. I figured it was my turn to talk now. Donna, I did not want half of the house money, but if it makes you feel any better, I will gladly accept it. I didn't bother filing for a divorce because I had no intention of getting married again. However, things have changed now, so the divorce is appreciated. I understand. She is very beautiful. I do not think it would be appropriate for me to give Shelley away at her wedding. I think that honor should go to her father. As I finished that sentence, Donna dropped her wine glass on the tile patio floor. There was a gasp as her mouth dropped open. I took a few minutes to clean up the glass, and such as she composed herself. She seemed to be struggling to come up with a reply. John, I don't mean to be a smart-ass bitch or anything like that, and I am also not trying to be evasive or defensive, but who do you suggest I contact? How about one of the 3 guys that you had intimacy with the night that I had my attack? Luckily, she didn't have a glass in her hand this time. After about 30 seconds of incoherent babbling mixed with sobbing, she finally blurted out, I think I made a mistake coming here. I was hoping for closure, but not like this. I think I should go. She started to get up, but I insisted on sitting her back down. No, you don't. You opened this can of worms, now finish what you started. You felt that by coming here open-handed, you were taking the high road. It was intended to make me feel like shit for leaving and deserting my wife and daughter. Sorry, that dog doesn't hunt. Why don't you tell me all about it, including why you had the medical report covered up? Just then, Lena came back and noticed what was going on. Oh crap, John. What the hell did you do? Nothing. We were just talking about old times and she went to pieces. Lena took Donna inside the house and laid her on the sofa. She got a wet compress and some kind of pills, which she gave her. I stayed out of the way. I was the bad guy. How the hell did that happen? I went to the kitchen and got a super bock. The wine wasn't hacking it. John, why don't I talk to her? Maybe she won't get so upset. You must have come on pretty heavy. Is there anything specific that you want me to ask her? Yeah, a couple of things. Some of them I already know the answers, but I would like to see if she verifies them. The others I just don't know. Ask her the names of the 3 guys she had intimacy with that night. Did she see them again? See if you can find out if there were any other guys and any other times. Just curious. Ask her why she had the medical report of my seizure covered up. Ask her why we didn't have any more kids. Stop. Too much information. That's a bit of an overload. I'll do the best that I can. Why don't you go out on the patio and relax? Grab a couple more beers. I fell asleep, and 2 hours later, Lena was shaking me awake. I gave her a sedative. She is in the guest bedroom for the rest of the night. Did anything productive come out of it? Once I got her started, I couldn't shut her up. The only thing she remembers about the 3 guys is that one of them was named Freddie. He was trying to get her to take some kind of drug, but she remembers that she kept refusing. She did not admit to telling him to drug you. I don't think she will ever admit that. So, how was the intimacy? She didn't say, but from how she described it, it must have been pretty good. It looks like it was a one-off. I don't know why she did it. I couldn't get any hints about any other escapades. She never saw or heard from the guys again. She suspected that one of them was Shelley's father, but she never looked into it any further. She was afraid when Shelley got the DNA test kit at Christmas, but didn't know how to handle it. She assumed that you figured it out, and that is why you left. Wow, good recap. That covers a lot of it. She also asked why you no longer had the eye tick or the twitch. I explained to her that it was an easy fix and should have been done years ago, except the diagnosis had been covered up for some reason. That triggered another sobbing episode, so I just left her alone. She should sleep until morning. It is hard to believe, but I used to love that woman. I always thought that love like that lived forever. But that is not true. I struggled for 15 years that I shouldn't have. All the attention and love that she shared with me over the years was just a way to cover up for her treachery. It wasn't love. John, you sound bitter. Lena, I have to leave for a few days. When Donna wakes up in the morning, can you see to it that she gets to the airport? Tell her that I will not attend Shelley's wedding. Also let her know that the checks that she got came from Shelley's father, not me. Where will you go? I don't know. It will just be for a week or so. You will be here when I get back, right? Of course I will. Promise that you won't drink too much. Call me. And so ends that part of my life. I never did see or hear from Donna or Shelley again. Lena and I did not marry, but we did buy a nice little villa together just outside of Porto. I decided to take up oil painting after watching some Michael James Smith videos. I am actually getting pretty good. The villa did come with a nice little studio. Lena got me a DNA kit for Christmas. That's not funny. And that's the end of today's story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and drop a comment below. Your support helps the algorithm push my content further. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me keep creating more stories for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.